Top Thrill Dragster is one of the most complicated and problematic roller coasters of all time. Just ask Toro Ryan. However, this doesn't prevent Dragster from being one of the most popular roller coasters at Cedar Point. Top Thrill Dragster is a 420-foot tall monster stratocoaster and is the second tallest and third fastest roller coaster in the world. This ride towers over the center of Cedar Point and has the ability to silence all voices near it. Just listen to it. Unfortunately, a ride this complicated experiences an excessive amount of downtime. There's many people who have visited Cedar Point multiple times and have not been able to ride this coaster. I've been lucky enough to experience this roller coaster many times, and I can say this ride will leave you speechless the first time you ride it. However, just a few days ago, it was announced that Top Thrill Dragster will be closed for the rest of the 2021 season. This is very sad news, but the reasoning for this closure makes a lot of sense. This announcement came after a guest waiting in line for the attraction was struck in the head by an object that flew from the ride. The reasoning given is that the park and other officials do not want to rush the investigation, which makes sense. After all, safety should always be the #1 priority. Every once in a while, someone is bound to ask the question, what does the future look like for Top Thrill Dragster? Well, today we'll be answering that question, but before we jump into that, make sure to do me a huge favor by hitting that like button, as that is the easiest way to help out the channel. Also, if you like Cedar Point content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button and let me know if you'd like to see more. Now, with that being said, let's put our arms down, heads back, and make sure to hold on as we launch into this video. On August 16th of this year, a woman waiting in line for Top Thrill Dragster was struck in the head with an object that flew from the ride. According to the park, when the ride was heading toward the final brake run, a metal object broke off of the train that struck the guest in the head and caused severe injuries. An eyewitness described the object as looking like a metal disc flying through the air. When the woman was struck with the object, it was said that she started bleeding, and guests took off their shirts to help stem the bleeding until Sandusky EMS arrived a few minutes later. The woman was brought to a local hospital and then transferred to another facility. Body cam footage showed the disturbing scene that played out after these events ensued, which I have blurred out. Before we get into anything else, I'd like to ask that you send the woman and her family prayers and wish her a speedy recovery. I really hope that she ends up being okay, and I'm wishing her all the best. From what I've heard, the incident was very traumatic and brought extreme discomfort to those who witnessed it. Some guests who witnessed it expressed concern about ever visiting the park again after seeing what happened. Unfortunately, this wasn't the first time Top Thrill Dragster has had an accident. In 2004, 4 people were struck by flying debris while riding the coaster. Reports indicated that a metal cable frayed during launch, shearing off metal that struck the riders. The injuries were mainly arm abrasions, with one passenger experiencing cuts to the face. They were treated at the park's first aid station, and 2 of those guests sought further medical attention. Also in 2016, 2 people were treated for minor injuries when the launch cable detached from the ride. The ride was closed for the following day while the park and Ohio State officials investigated the incident. Top Thrill Dragster has had its fair share of accidents, mainly due to parts of the ride just flat out breaking. This actually isn't even the first time this season that Dragster has had an extended closure, so this has led some to speculate on the future of the ride. One thing I think we need to keep in mind is that Top Thrill Dragster is one of the most iconic and popular roller coasters at Cedar Point. I think that they'd probably have to try about everything they can do to fix it. I honestly don't think Cedar Point will remove Top Thrill Dragster following this incident. The ride has just too much of an upside to it. However, this doesn't make this roller coaster immortal. Let's look at Volcano the Blast Coaster for a minute. Volcano was one of the most popular roller coasters at Kings Dominion during its tenure at the park. The ride also stood as the main icon for the park, as it even outshined the Intamin Giga coaster next to it, or at least in the eyes of the general public. However, Volcano went down early in the 2018 season, which ended up being the last time it would ever operate. Volcano was also a notoriously unreliable Intamin launch coaster, just like Top Thrill Dragster. Volcano also had an issue involving a rider being hit by debris in 2006. There are a lot of similarities between these two rides. They both also were technically prototypes in some way, shape, or form. Volcano opened in 1998 and last operated in 2018, lasting about 20 years. For comparison, Top Thrill Dragster was built in 2003. I think Dragster will reopen for next season if the cause of the incident is fixable. I also wouldn't be shocked if Dragster gets some sort of upgrades to help improve the reliability of the coaster, because as of right now, the coaster is heading in the wrong direction. Thrill Dragster could be at risk of removal in the future if things don't get better. I don't know how long the service life of Thrill Dragster is, but I wouldn't be surprised if it got removed in the next 5 years or so. I think that at best, Dragster could maybe get another 10 to 15 good years of operation before it would just become too costly to have around. This also is not helped by Cedar Fair's poor relationship with Intamin. At some point, enough will be enough for corporate to go ahead and remove this ride. I'm sure the rides team does not like having it at all, as it probably causes headaches day in and day out. As of now, the ride offers too much upside for someone sheerly looking at the numbers to remove it. But if this accident causes ridership to drop or something else like this happens, I wouldn't be shocked to see this ride removed a little way down the line. Overall, the future of Thrill Dragster has a lot of doubt, at least the long-term future. I'm confident that Dragster will reopen from this incident, maybe with some upgrades, but beyond that, I don't know. I just don't see it making it that long if it doesn't get a major overhaul in the next 5 years or so, but that's just me. What do you think the future holds for Thrill Dragster? Do you think this incident will be the last straw, or do you think it still has some gas left in the tank? Make sure to tell me all those thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video or got something out of it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more roller coaster content coming soon. With all that being said, I'd like to thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.